So this post is titled, "Don't use logo makers or video editors with watermarks. It'll hurt your channel." Let's talk about this. What's going on, YouTube? How you all doing? My name is Mark Jr. Welcome to my channel, and today, well guys, like you saw in the beginning, we're going to be talking about this post that I saw in the r/YouTubeGaming subreddit. Because I went through it already once. I wanted to go over it with you and just give my thoughts and opinions on it from my perspective as a guy who's been doing YouTube now for almost 6 years. Now, I'm not a large YouTuber by any stretch of the imagination. Hell, this is a new channel. My old one that I've been on for 6 years is YouTubeGaming. Most of my videos are privated or unlisted now, but I've made over 100 videos on that channel in the six years that I've been doing it, and I've learned a lot, and I want to give my own perspective as someone who's been on here for a long time and just talk about this and explain a few things that might that I don't necessarily agree with on here. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So it starts off with, "Hey y'all, my first post here. Please forgive me if I had made any mistakes." All right, that's cool. Everybody makes mistakes on their first post, so just go on with that. "If you want to start a gaming channel on YouTube," hey, that's what I have, "please don't use certain names on your channel. Edit, also don't use cap locks in your channel name." Now, it makes sense for what they're showing. For example, Scam Gaming, they've seen this. Insert name, gaming. This is common. Please don't use logo makers for your channel. So let's cover the gaming, the examples that this person gave. So don't use certain names on your channel. For example, don't put gaming in your name. Now, I can see where they're coming from to the extent, because down here they say, "Avoid using gaming in your channel name because it's very common and doesn't allow you to stand out as much." I can see where they're coming from in that aspect. However, I don't think that they should write off completely, "Don't use gaming in your channel name," as a whole. Now, if it was just like generic name Joe Gaming or something like that, then yeah, it might make sense not to have gaming in there, because Joe, hypothetically, the pretend name is Joe Gaming. It's not really clever or creative or new. But for me, for example, I have my channel. My second channel is Mark Jr. TV Gaming. Now, I have gaming in my channel name for that channel because that's technically my gaming channel. This channel, I have 1 or 2 gaming videos here, but this is my channel separate from my gaming channel, which is why I'm just Mark Jr. TV here, but over there I'm Mark Jr. TV Gaming, to sort of emphasize the fact that that's a gaming channel over there that I have. But that's one thing. That's one thing they cover. The next thing you say is, "Please don't use logo makers for your channel. Make your own." Now, this part, it rubs me the wrong way, because they're not very specific about what logo makers, what they're talking about. Because making your own logo is important, it's nice, and it's your own thing, but a logo maker, it's not really meant to be like a get your own logo type thing. It's meant to be like a help you make your logo. So this doesn't track. "Please don't use logo makers for your channel. Make your own." Now, they say make your own, but then they're like, "Don't use logo makers." Logo makers make logos, right? Right, but at least that's my thought process going into this. "Don't use cringy intros. Your channel name bouncing around the screen with some ear rape music ain't good." Now, that I can agree with that to an extent. Now, there are some channels that could probably get away with doing a channel like doing an intro like that. Not all channels, and I don't recommend nowadays that you go around having your name bouncing around the screen with some ear rape music. That's early. That's like old. That's old stuff now. But having your channel name bouncing around the screen isn't a bad thing if you have it in a good way. Now, my channel intro is just my name, with some flashing light stuff and just some glitch music sort of stuff, glitch sounding. But yeah, and then don't use editors with watermarks. Filmora is a good video editor, but don't use its free version. You need to pay in order to get rid of their big watermark. KindMaster also has a watermark. Don't use that either. I have seen small mobile YouTubers using multiple video editors with watermarks, and the result has watermarks stacked on top of each other. Well, that's probably why. Well, you shouldn't use multiple video editors at the same time for the same video. That's just inefficient. But I don't think that you shouldn't use editors with watermarks, because I've dabbled with watermarks with video editors that use watermarks for both. That use watermarks and that don't use watermarks. Currently, I edit with Sony Vegas Pro 14? Sony Vegas Pro 14. I broke it. Sorry. Sony Vegas Pro 14, that's what I edit with for my stuff. And I didn't used to use that. I started out with Windows Movie Maker back in the day when Windows Movie Maker was still a thing. I don't actually know if it's still a thing nowadays, but I've also dabbled in Filmora and KindMaster when I made 1 or 2 mobile videos on another channel that you'll never find, so don't even try. But I wouldn't say don't use editors with watermarks. It depends on the watermark itself as well, because I don't know how big the watermark itself is, because I never used the paid version of Filmora Go. I mean Filmora, the free version of Filmora. I pirated it a long time ago. I haven't used it in decades. I mean, not decades. I haven't used it in a few years. So there's that. But the watermark, I would assume, isn't super big. That would be very inefficient to use for the company to put a watermark the size of like the video on there. But that's just my opinion. I wouldn't recommend not using an editor with watermark if that's all you have. Some people just, all they have is a video editor that has a watermark. So it's like, use what you have, make content. As your content gets bigger, use upgrade if you can. If you can't, it doesn't matter, because the content will shine through the watermark. Even if the watermark's there, the content will go above and beyond the watermark. But that's just my opinion. Audio quality. People can't stand watching videos with bad audio. That's true. That so far, this is the only thing I can't argue with at all. At last, and I think they mean and last, use a good description in your about page. Don't use something like, if you're looking for the best gaming channel, you found one, or subscribe. It won't really help. I can't say they're wrong, but I can't say they're right either, because that descriptions like in your about page for YouTube channels, it's very subjective and very context based. It depends on what kind of videos you make. Now, there are some channels, if they're like meme channels, they could get away with, like, if you are looking for the best gaming or meme channel, you found one, or subscribe or whatever, like, it would work for them because they're a meme channel. That's what they do. They do memes and stuff like that. It would make sense. But, like, I don't know. Like, it's very contextual and it's very subjective based on what kind of content you create and how serious your channel itself actually is in the content you make. Again, it's subjective. And here are some extra advice thanks to you/shake mistake. Okay. Avoid using gaming in your channel because it's very common, doesn't allow you to stand out much. I already covered that already, the gaming in your channel part. Again, it's a very case-by-case basis that you should use gaming in your name. I won't say don't, because there are channels that are successful that do. I can't name any off the top of my head, but that's because I don't watch a lot of gaming channels on YouTube nowadays. But yeah, don't have a generic logo because of the same reason. Most YouTube gamers have generic logos. Try something more personal, like a unique character, or maybe even just your face. I mean, what's considered a generic logo? I don't think they're specific enough about what a generic logo is. Like, I agree though, something more personal, like a unique character, maybe even just your face. Like, for me, all my social media profile pages are just me with my face. Yeah, my Twitter, my Instagram, both my YouTube channels are just me with my face and a peace sign in front of my face. And that's me. But I've also always had my face on YouTube. I'm not a faceless YouTuber. I don't usually use a unique character or something to like hide behind it or just have that as my persona. But that's just me personally. I've never been shy like that or never wanted to not use my face. So, but I did have a unique panda once on my old channel when I was 1VR Panda decades ago. I mean, not decades ago, years ago. But like, I think they got to be more specific about the generic logo. That's what is stumping me. Avoid having loud, obnoxious intros with your name and logo. This takes away precious time to show your content and really draw the viewer's attention. Yes and no. So the loud, obnoxious intros, again, we covered that already. The cringy intros, as they call it. We covered that already. I do think like the ear rape music is a little old now. It's really expired past its expiration date. But the channel name bouncing around the screen, I think it depends on how you do it. If you do it in a creative way, I think it'll work. I think it can work, honestly. But again, a lot of this is subjective. That's the thing. I think the problem is with this whole post in general. We're not done just yet. But I think the problem I have with this whole post in general is the fact that they are making this sort of like statement of fact. Like they're saying don't use this. They're not suggesting it like in their opinion or their experience. They're just being like, don't do this, don't do that. And I think that's a terrible way to go about it. Especially because I looked at their channel in my off time after I read this. They aren't, in my opinion, they aren't established enough in their field or in any field, honestly, to where they can say with a matter of fact say, don't use logo makers or use video editors with watermarks. It will hurt your channel. I don't believe that they are in the right position to be able to say that so matter of factly. Like I said at the beginning of the video, everything I'm doing is based off my opinion and my perspective as someone who's been on here for a long time. I'm not saying don't do this. I'm making suggestions. I'm giving my opinion and what I think. You can take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't matter if you take it with a grain of salt or not. But I think but like I said, the problem I have with this the most is that they're being so matter of fact about it when they themselves don't have the authority in their field to do that. Now, if someone like Harris Heller from the Alpha Gaming channel or Epos Box or stuff like that, people like that, if they did something like a post like this or a video like this, then I wouldn't have a problem with it as much because they are doing the they're big in their field. They have authority. Like they know what they're talking about. Although I don't agree with Harris Heller on a few things. Like I have some problems with Harris Heller. I'll be honest, and I'm probably gonna make a video about it in the future. But if they did it, like their authorities in the field of stream help, stream support, and like content and all that, like their authorities, so they can do this and get away with it better than say someone like this person that made this post did. But let's continue. So use a video editor that doesn't have watermarks as this makes your video seem unprofessional. Try DaVinci Resolve or hit Film Express. They're both free. Yes, they are both free, and I've heard a lot of good things about DaVinci Resolve. I don't use it because I use Vegas Pro, and there's that. But I don't think it makes your video seem unprofessional if you have like a KineMaster watermark. If the content itself is good, but there's a watermark in the top right corner or left, whichever side the KineMaster is, I don't think it makes your video seem unprofessional if like the content itself is still good. Because the watermark's just a watermark. It's just there. It doesn't affect it shouldn't affect the video in any way, really. If you ask me, like maybe I'll use a video editor and I'll have a watermark up there with Filmora Go or something, Filmora Go or something, and see what happens. But like, I don't think having a watermark on your video is unprofessional, honestly. And make sure your audio sounds good and clear. This is more important as good video quality. This is more important, I believe they mean, than good video quality. People can tolerate a lower image quality, but they can't understand what you're saying. They won't keep watching. I agree. Audio quality is more important than video quality in almost every aspect. But again, this is the only one I can't disagree with at all, really. Everything else, though, again, it's subjective based on the person and the situation that they're in and like what their content is. But I think the biggest problem I have with this post is that they are not doing this. Like, if that they are like saying not to do this. Whereas like if they said in my experience or something like that, it wouldn't be as bad, like I said. Now, this is the end of the post. I'm not gonna go into the comments just because I don't think it'll be helpful for the rest of the video. But this is where we're at with this post. Don't use logo makers or use video editors with watermarks. It'll hurt your channel. Again, it's subjective. I don't think it'll hurt your channel in the long run, as long as you do like make good content itself. Use logo makers, use video editors with watermarks. Just make good content, put some effort into it, and I think you'll do. Anyone that uses this stuff will be fine, personally, in my opinion. But I think with that, I'm gonna wrap everything up here. This is going on almost 20 minutes long. Damn, I didn't realize I made this long of a video. But with that, thank you all so much for tuning in to the channel today. Again, take this with a grain of salt. You can cancel me if you want for like talking about this and all that, but have a great day, and until next time, my name is Mark Jr. Thank you for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next one. Have a fantastic day.